Hello and welcome to Forex London Session Livestream. Today is 31st of August and today is the last day of the month. Also, today is Wednesday, which is usually high volume day, but the issue is today is the last day of the month. So today we will be a little bit more careful with our execution and yeah, so first thing comes first, we will do our analysis in gold and in GBP JPY starting from monthly candle. If we look at monthly candle, so the current monthly candle is moving down. There is probability that we can fill this wick, but sometimes we usually don't fill the entire wick and we reject from somewhere inside that wick. So we will look to see if we can get some execution. The current weekly candle is moving down. It created an upper wick and it is now down. And just by looking at weekly, I can anticipate that we can drop like 140 more pips. And if I look at daily time frame, the previous daily candle closed strong bearish, and the current daily candle is at daily support, I will say, because two previous daily candles failed to break this area, so maybe this is an area of importance. And if we look at 4-hour time frame, we will draw our zone. This is an important zone at 1720. We need to break below this area for sells, and if we break below this area, prices can potentially move till 17 18, around 24 pips away, and if the volume is with us, we can even drop till 17 14. So we will mark these two areas. Yeah, and if we look at gold, we can see that we are also creating a resistance which is holding from previous 4 H4 bars. Prices fail to break above this resistance, so it is also an important area. And if we drop back to 1-hour time frame, yeah, so this 1-hour time candle is closing in around 3 minutes. We are waiting to see how current H1 candle will close, and maybe on next candle we can anticipate prices can will keep pushing down, and we may execute sells once we break below this wick, potentially targeting like 28-30 pips from this trade. But for that we need to wait. So yeah, this that's all for gold. In gold, for buys we need to break above 1726, and for sells we need to break below 1721. And if we look at GBP JPY, starting from monthly candle, the current monthly candle is little bit bearish. We have wick to the downside and to the upside of this monthly candle, so we are not sure how this monthly candle will close, but there is no information just by looking at this monthly candle. And if we drop to weekly time frame, we can see there is lot of consolidation and no information, I will say, is present in weekly time frame. And if I look at, I can see that we are approaching a support level which is way too far. There is another support in here. We are approaching potential support. Also there are lot of wicks, so we will look we will do low time frame analysis in GBP JPY, and we will just stick to that. There is no higher time frame bias in GBP JPY. Alright, previous daily candle closed strong bearish, and current daily candle, it makes sense for current daily candle to continue pushing down, but we will look at smaller time frame. In H4 we can see we have created a resistance at 162.700. We are creating a support at 161.500 and other small resistance at 161.800. So if we look at 1 hour time frame, even if we break through this area, it is only like 25 pips of range. So maybe we will participate in these cells, but let's wait for this hourly candle to close. And yeah, in gold I am also looking for cells. In gold we have cells below 1720, buys above 1726. Yeah, this is our bias for gold. And for GBP JPY we are waiting to see how current hourly candle will close and where prices can potentially move if we break through this area. Alright, 1 hour candle has now closed. M30 candle is breaking below the low of previous M30 candle in first few seconds of this H1 candle. So we will just wait in here. And yeah, there is like 26 pips of range in here, and probably I will execute sells. And in gold H1 candle close strong bearish, and if the next if current M30 candle starts to break below the low of previous M30 candle, I will execute sells in gold. And in GBP JPY we are also waiting. This trade do make sense. Alright, we will execute this sell. Stops is around 10 US dollars, and targeting the same amount of profit in GBP JPY. And if I look at gold, in gold we are anticipating sells once we break below previous M30 candle, but we are waiting to see when that low will be broken so that we can participate. Now we will only focus in GBP JPY, the reason being it has broken through previous candle low, and yeah, it makes sense for prices to drop. And on the other hand, we will also be very careful with our stop loss on this trade. The meantime, if we look at news, we have US dollar ATP non-farm employment change. And yeah, in New York session, let's see how this trade will play out. We are waiting for current M15 candle to close. And in gold, we are about to break previous M30 candle low, which looks very juicy. If I wasn't in my GBP JPY trade, I would have executed that sell in gold. I would have placed my sell stop once we break through previous M30 candle low and place my stop loss in here around 40 pips, but I will be managing risk once we break above previous M30 candle high. Now we are just waiting for current M15 candle to close in GBP JPY. We will look to see how this M15 candle will close. If it closes below this area, then there will be high probability for next candle to continue pushing down, and if it closes above this area, we will manage our risk. Yeah, we have broken below previous M30 candle, and if I wasn't in GBP JPY sell, I would have executed this trade. And this is how I would have executed this sell right in here. Stops around 45, 42 pips in the beginning. Potential target till 1718, but I will be managing risk right in here. So it is only 19 pip stop, but we'll see how this plays out. GBP JPY is not moving. If we look at this M30 candle, the previous M30 candle closed strong bearish and the current M30 candle created an upper wick and it is now breaking below the lows. That's where I have executed sell position, and this sell trade is valid for next 20 minutes, and I am not anticipating that we will again break above current M30 candle high. So that's where I will manage my risk, and other than that I will let it run. Yeah, 10 pips. I have secured something at 10 pips. And I will secure everything at 161.200 area, no exceptions. No exceptions. Because if we look at higher time frame, look left, there is no clean range present. So I will be very quick in securing profits on this trade. Since there is no clean range present to the left, I have closed all my position and made around 0.22% of my account. And yeah, now we will wait and we will just look at markets. So now our gold trade is running. I didn't execute this trade on my real account. The reason being I was in a position in GBP JPY, and this trade right in here is in like 10 pips profit. If I was in this trade, I would have secured something and let the rest run till 17-18. And I would have placed my stop loss at 17.22. And I executed this trade on my demo account, which was in 10 pips profit, 16 pips profit, and now it is at 7 pips profit. so which is not a big deal, and my stop loss will be right in here. And yeah, so we had two trade ideas: sells in GBP JPY, secured 11 pips on that trade, and sells in gold, which went in 16 pips profit from our entry point, and it is now retracing, which now makes sense because if we look at higher time frame, we are breaking through strong H4 support zone, so retracement makes much more sense in here. GBP JPY, the previous M15 candle closed strong bearish, and the current M15 candle is creating an upper wick first, in my opinion, for price to continue pushing bearish later on, because if we look at M30 candle is still bearish. So in GBP JPY, our target is 161.200 area. So if we look at our history on this account, London session account, we took 3 trades in London session in this week, 1 trade a day, and we are in 10 US dollars, 9 US dollars profit, which is around 1% of my account, and which is a pretty good thing. We are making profits. Still, I am unable to unable to capture big moves, but there will be days when we will capture big moves, and we will make lots of profits. But for now, it is what it is. And now we will look at Euro USD and GBP USD. All right, in Euro USD we have this consolidation in H4 time frame. Overall, we know that Euro USD is in a strong downtrend, but there is a very strong H4 support at 0.99168. This is very strong H4. I will say monthly support. It is very strong support, so it is not easy to break through this support. But the overall trend is bearish, so it makes sense for Euro USD to consolidate for a little bit in this area. Around, yeah, we are not looking for anything in Euro USD at least for now. But I can anticipate that we will drop in Euro USD till this support around 85, 80, 90 pips today or tomorrow just by looking at price action. And if we look at GBP USD, we were aware of the fact that there is very strong monthly area right in here which is holding from previous 6 years. It will not be very easy to break through this area because it is holding from previous 6 years. And if we look at weekly, the weekly time frame is dropping. Daily, the previous daily candle closed strong bearish, and the current daily candle is has moved a little bit up, but maybe it is a higher wick formation for prices to continue pushing down later on. And if we look at 4 hour, we have this support in here and this resistance in here. So in GBP USD, it is very difficult to grab a trade today. So we will just stay away from GBP USD. There are days when there are clean, when there is clean trades in GBP USD, but today is not that day. So just staying away from GBP USD makes much more sense. But I can anticipate that we can drop till this area around 40 pips away till 1.163 area. I am anticipating sells in GBP USD and Euro USD. And if we look at gold, our gold trade went in 16 pips profit, and it has no now 5 pips above our entry point. So if I was in this position, I would have closed everything right in here. And yeah, it didn't completed our potential target area, which was 17-18 area. Just yeah, we got rejected from this week, but still it went in 18 pips profit. If I was in this position, I am very sure that I would have secured some profits. So yeah, and in GBP JPY, the M30 candle has flipped bullish all the way up. That's why I was very, I will say, I took profits way too early. The reason being there is a lots and lots of problems. If we look left, if we look left in this area, there is lots and lots of problem. That's why I closed everything. I didn't let even my runners run, and still I am 0.22% up for the day, which is pretty good thing. And tomorrow we will tomorrow maybe we can get some bigger move, but I am still anticipating that if we get some sort of resistance formation in here, we are dropping till 161.200 area. but for that we need to wait. And in gold there is still very high probability that we are dropping as long as we respect this M30 candle high. In GBP JPY, I will not advise anyone to try to grab a trade. There is lot of problems in here. And in gold, I am anticipating sales till 1718 area, and if the volume is with us, we can even continue pushing till 1714 area. There are no buys in gold so far, unless we at least break above current M30 candle high 1723, and which will be a risky buys. Better buys will appear above 1726. Other than that, we are just in sells, or we may start consolidating. There is a high volatile news event for for US dollar in New York session 5 minutes before Comet Comics open. They are anticipating stronger US dollar, and which may even push gold to the downside. But there are two things of concern at this point. First of all, this monthly candle is closing today, and there is a wick left to be filled, which is of 400 pips. So whenever there is a wick like this, it doesn't mean that price will fill the entire wick, but there is probability that prices will fill some portion of that wick. So first of all, monthly candle is closing today, and if we look left in gold, we are approaching through a an area of concern, area of rejection. So these are two concerns. Other than that, there are sells, and if we break below this area from 1711, trust me, there is a clean range present to the left, and we can grab like 200 300 pips from sell trade. But I highly doubt that we will fill this entire wick around 400 pips today. So M30 candle has closed. M30 candle has still closed bearish, little bit above the previous M30 candle low, but I am still anticipating sells. and in my opinion we are moving up to create an upper wick first and then continue pushing down. I will execute this idea on my demo account, and I will place my stop loss above previous hourly candle high, because it is a little bit risky trade. The reason being, although I am anticipating sells, but candles are bullish for now. So that's why I have placed stop loss above previous H1 candle high. And if we create some sort of resistance in M15 time frame, we are for sure moving down in this 46 pips of range. Now we will just wait a little bit and we will just call it a London session. We will come back later in New York session. We are still respecting previous M30 candle high, and we are just waiting. There is a wick left to be filled, which is around 20 pips away. So yeah, I am anticipating sell in gold. I have given that trade a chance on my demo account. I will not execute it on my real account. The reason being, I have already took one trade, and yeah. So the M30 candle is flipping bearish, about to flip bearish, and there is very high probability that we can drop. So at this point I will just call it a London session. We will come back later in New York session and try to find another trade in New York session, and for now I am taking a leave. We'll come back later in New York session. Until then, take care, have fun, and I will see you guys in New York session.